The University of Texas Rio Grande Valley is the largest university in the United States to have a majority of Hispanic student population. Approximately 90% of its students are Hispanic, and virtually all of them are Mexican American. Despite conforming the majority of the student population, Mexican Americans are still a minority for the rest of the country, and Mexican American women are at an even greater disadvantage. Interested in knowing if female Mexican American students were aware of the existence of the social political movement called Chicana Feminism, we decided to interview several young women at UTRGV. However, we also interviewed non-Latinas to compare their answers as well. First, we asked them all for their own definitions of feminism. What does the term feminism mean to you?
Well, to me, I don't know how anyone else would think feminism, their definition would be, but to me it would be that a woman is just as equal to a man.
It means gender equality and protecting feminine rights.
Feminism, to me, it means equality between men and women who are striving for a better future.
To me, it means they're equal to men, and they could do the same things as men. Yeah, the girl power.
For me, it means equity for all individuals who might be marginalized, who might be struggling in society. Because what I see is society places people in groups and tries to marginalize them and tries to separate individuals from one another. And I see feminism as more of, rather than equality, equity.
Women power. I guess the term of feminism, we owe it to the women before us that gave us the right to vote, to have jobs. I think if we don't hold that term in place, what we owe it to them to be able to do what they fought so hard for, to be able to have what we have right now, the right to do anything that we're doing right now. I guess we have to always look back to them.
It basically means to me that you, as a woman, have equal rights to anyone in this world. That we are just as smart as boys or as men. We're just as smart. We should have equal pay.
I believe that it means women get equal rights as men.
I think that feminism means the empowerment of women together, showing them that they can be whoever they want to be without having to adjust to any circumstances or expectancies, and that we should be able to raise our daughters and say be whoever you want to be and don't care what anyone has to say and what they want to change about you.
Secondly, we asked if they were able to name one prominent feminist figure.
Shailene Woodley as the movie Insurgent.
Barack Obama. Yeah, probably Barack Obama. He's spoken a lot about equality between men and women a lot. So I would have to say him, even though he's not. I guess you don't have to be a woman to be classified as a feminist. Just as long as you have the equal rights of men and women. Vice versa.
Yeah, actually a few. I like people like Gloria Steinem, Angela Davis, Maya Angelou. Those are all really good writers and activists too.
Jennifer Lawrence.
I would probably have to go with Susan B. Anthony.
Margaret Sanger and Beyonce, modern day.
J.K. Rowling.
Mrs. Hillary Clinton, Gloria Anzaldúa for just pointing this out, for pointing out all the injustice that was done to women, for being a lesbian woman, a Chicana woman in the Rio Grande Valley.
As expected, both white and Mexican American women had similar definitions of feminism. And while only one Mexican American woman mentioned a Chicana feminist figure, the rest mentioned women of other races and ethnicities besides Mexican American. However, when we asked them if they were familiar with the term Chicana feminism, They answered,
No, I don't.
Chicana, well, I know what a Chicana is, but I'm not so sure if it's the same definition.
No.
No, I am not.
Definitely. Yes, I am. I actually read of someone who's actually, her name is Gloria Anzaldúa.
but when asked if they had ever been discriminated against for being Mexican American, they did have answers.
Growing up while in school, everybody knew that I was Mexican because I would speak Spanish or something, and they would just see me as a maid. If I were to go out with somebody, I would have to say, I'm Mexican. Do you see me as a maid or as a partner? And it was a big like situation where like people would just be like, oh, you're Mexican, and they would just leave because of that.
In my family, if I were to want to go for welding, they believe that's more like for a man's job. They would see me more of a nurse than a welder. Even if I liked welding, they disapprove of it.
Personally, I've never felt discriminated against by race, either being a woman or... Wait, no, probably just once, but I wasn't inside the country. I was actually in Japan. Yeah, when I was in Japan, there was some certain like stores I could not enter because I was a woman.
Yes, when I attended a job interview, they said I could not get hired because it was more of a men job because I was weak compared to the men there. I could not carry boxes like they can. So they were like, so we cannot hire you because of that. And I was like, okay, I guess.
For example, culturally, for me, I was expected like by my parents to find a husband and marry and be able to learn how to cook completely, like full meals, clean, and like have a home ready for like when the husband comes home from work. But like I want to be a nurse and I want to spend like hours and hours working in the hospital treating people, not sitting at home waiting for someone to like come home to me and I do like housework. Like I want to be able to have my own career, be independent, and not have to worry about what my parents are telling me. Well, oh, but I want grandkids. Like, oh, but I don't want kids.
Right.
Yeah, and socially, I think there's a lot of stereotypes like for Mexican American women. They're expected like the same thing, like with the cleaning and the cooking and knowing all these things, like just to be at home and not question the husband, like just expect.
Most of these women were not familiar with the concept of Chicana feminism, but they were familiar with the concept of plain feminism. Mexican American women had a definition for feminism similar to that of white women, yet they do not experience the same treatment. So how come they do not know what Chicana feminism is?